Take 6. It's not easy making a Cowboys video these days. I just got finished making one. It was like 6 minutes, and then I have to say the right things, especially on videos right here when things are so sensitive around Valley Ranch and things are so sensitive within the Cowboy Nation that I've got to say things the right way or you will jump down my throat. How did I start this video off? I said that it's not annoying me, but I'm seeing a lot, even Skip Bayless, a lot, which Skip Bayless will talk crap about the entire organization and say, oh, but we can win 7 in a row. And I'm like, please do not. If we do, let it just happen. You know, don't sit there and like, man, we can do this. We can say, if it's going to happen, just let it happen because we're putting way too much pressure on Romo. I mean, you guys are... Last year's Romo, which people were saying the MVP, he was not the MVP of the season. They were saying that on the TV. He was not the MVP of the season. This is how I get in trouble. Because saying stuff like that. But Romo was not the MVP of the entire league last year. He was definitely the MVP of our team, the Cowboys. But he was not the MVP of the whole entire league last year. And the reason why Romo was so good last year is because we figured out a way to win with that football team. Riding the offensive line, punching other teams in the throat, and allowing Romo to slow down, pass when he needed to pass, hand off when he needed a handoff, keep that completion percentage high, and the completions and the attempts very low. The attempts were very, very low last year. So him messing up was not going to be there as much because there wasn't that much attempts for him to mess up. So last year was beauty. It was absolutely the way to win. But again, here's where I'm gonna get in trouble. Last year still, if you go back and look at my videos, I was shocked the entire season because I thought that we were an 8-8 football team that got on a roll and had a very favorable schedule with the AFC South, the real bad division in football. We're not the worst division in football. That's the worst division in football. So we don't have the Jaguars, the Titans, the Texans on our schedule this year. So, and you couple that with the state of the NFC East, and we had a very good season last year. We were not ripping the league apart. We were not. And our season there was 2 times our season could have went the opposite direction. After Thanksgiving, when we lost to the Eagles, we gutted it out and we turned our season around. Now, at the end of the season, we played a lot of teams that had nothing to play for. People don't want to hear that, but we played a lot of teams that had nothing to play for. And I say it over and over at the end of the season, when you play teams that have nothing to play for, all you got to do is punch them hard and they go, all right, we're done. They're not going to sit there and fight you with every bit of their being. It's just not going to happen. That's not even a human instinct. But when you have something to play for, then they punch you, you punch them right back in the face. And we got a game going on. That did not happen. Even with the Colts. The Colts had that sorry division wrapped up. And, you know, my dad and stepdad were Colts fans. They're like, man, they're not even playing this game. You know, that's what happened at the end of last season. And then I'll take it even further. For the playoffs, we feel as a fan base that we won the Super Bowl last year. We feel like we won the Super Bowl because of that Green Bay game. We feel like, and it's a very legit thought that if Dez caught that ball, that we would have won that game. It's a very legit thought that we would have beat Seattle the next week because we beat them. And it's a very legit thought that we could have went in the Super Bowl and gave Tom Brady fits and possibly beat them also. So it's very possible to think that we could have won the Super Bowl last year. So that's how we think. We think we won the Super Bowl because of what I just said. Instead of thinking like, wow, we also could have been one and done the week before with another call that happened. So either or, but that is how our team is. One week we could not play as good. The next week we smack you up in the face. Last year, what happened is we found consistency with our running game. And we found that consistency with doing what we're going to do, and you couldn't stop it no matter what you did. No matter who you were, Seattle. No matter who you had over on that defensive side of the football, you were not going to stop us. And we rode that, and we rode that. It had nothing to do with Murray. It had nothing to do, it had everything, I don't say nothing. It had everything to do with Callahan, Murray, Romo, the offensive line, Dez, the whole unit working together as a monster. That's what happened. So now we got this year, which is an entirely different year. And that's what I was trying to say earlier in my videos. This is another season. You can't take anything that happened last season. You can't take that wonderful play where we beat the Texans and Romo did a pirouette and threw the ball down the field, and or when he threw the ball to Dez and Dez caught the ball. That to me was his greatest catch against the Texans to win that football game. We can't take any of that to this season. We have to fight like we did last year. Just because they talking about us on the news, on the media as being one of the best teams, does not mean we don't have to go out there and fight as hard as we fought last year. And it does not look like we're doing that. That's the problem. We had games where Brandon Whedon and Matt Castle did a Romo impression at the end of the game, scoring. Whedon did it, Saints, and Castle did it, Eagles, I think it was. Yeah, and I think Castle might have did it twice. But they made those drives at the end of the football game to give us a chance to win, and the defense lost. The Giants, the special teams lost. These are the games when Romo comes back. These are the games that Romo can't help us. If we're right there at the end of the football game and it's a tight football game and the defense lets the offense run down the field, or we let another Dwayne Harris type person run a kick back on us, Romo has nothing to do with that. He has no power on that. And those are those games where you go, well, it wasn't Romo's fault. Well, no, a lot of these games, none of these losses aren't Romo's fault. A majority of these losses aren't Romo's fault. I would close to say almost all of these losses aren't Romo's fault. They are the team's fault. And the team is going to have to play much better when Romo gets back for this team to go on a 7-0 winning streak to get in the playoffs. And then on top of that, everybody else has got to lose. So it's in every angle that you look, it is possible. Mathematically, it is possible when you look at the players that we have. It's possible on those levels by all means. But when you look at the reality of the situation and what's going on, it gets very bleak. It gets very bleak. So, like I said, one game at a time. If we do it, it'll be like last year. I'll be in a just in a mode of bliss, and I'll be as happy as I can watching the playoffs. But we need to beat Miami. We need to go in there, and we need to, the Romo coming back should give us a energy boost, the entire team, and we should beat Miami. Then we should go and we should have a heck of a game versus Carolina in front of friends and family. So if we can get Miami, then we go to Carolina. If we can knock those two games down, then we can have a more serious conversation. But then after that, on down the road, you got Green Bay, which is going to be trying to get their stuff together. They're having a hard time, so they're going to be, Aaron Rodgers is going to be focused. We've got Washington twice. And let me tell you quickly about Washington. You see how the Giants messed up that game versus New England Patriots? Washington won't make game management decisions like that. They won't mess up a game on that level. So Washington is going to be a very, very tough football team to beat twice. Then you got the Jets, nasty defense. Then you got the Bills, another nasty defense. So those are some tough teams down the stretch that we have to beat all of them. So it's going to be tough, but I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the challenge. Not worried about us messing up our draft pick. I don't think on those accords. So I'd rather win football games at the end of the season and go into the next season on a better note than to blow some games to get a draft pick. You can move up in the draft if you need to. All right, I'll let you. Peace.